Hi, I'm Ryan Tolsma.
And I'm Cole Hurstwitz.
Welcome to the Code Corner, and today we will introduce the basic concepts of programming control structures.
In everything we do, there is a state for each of the activities we perform. You might be sleeping, walking, running, playing soccer, swimming, or epically failing. The state that you are in affects your actions, and in programming, we need a way to handle conditions.
There are two basic control statements in programming that we will be discussing today, the if statement and the while loop. These structures enable us programmers to make decisions based on the current state of our running programs. Alright, so today we're going to be going over our two conditional structures, the if statement and the while loop. And then we'll also be focusing on our Boolean operators. So we can start off with these first. Boolean operators are symbols that we can use on numbers or strings or any of our variable data types to return a true or false value. So for example, we have our familiar less than and greater than symbols. So if I say 8 is less than 10, which is true, it'll return the true value, which is Boolean. Then we have our equal to symbol. For this, we use two of our equal signs to check for equality. So if I say 7 equals 7, that's going to return true because they're equivalent. Then we're going to get to our negation statement. This basically negates any Boolean value and changes it to the opposite. So if I say not true, that means false. And if I say not false, that means true. Alright, so then we can get on to our if and while loops. So the if statement we can think of as like an if and then an else and then do this later. So for an if statement, one good example is stoplights. If the light is red, stop. Else if the light is yellow, keep slowing down. And lastly, else if the red is green, keep on going. Finally, we can get to our while loops. And this has a little bit different format than the if statement. The while loop keeps on executing while a certain condition is true. So for example, while I'm still hungry, keep on eating. And so finally, we can work on a little bit of the syntax. Right here in the blue where I have expressions, all of those should be Boolean values, conditionals. So while I'm hungry, that returns a true value to the while statement. And then the second part is we have to indent our code. So we'll have the while statement on top, and then the next line we have to indent before we write our code. Alright, now let's go to Cole to see some code examples.
Alright, now let's look at some examples of how we use if statements and while loops in Python. So first, we're going to declare a variable called score, and we're going to say score equals, let's just call it 85, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to check if the score is greater than a certain value, and if so, we're going to print something to the screen. Otherwise, we're going to print something else. So let's write if score, and we're using the greater than sign, if score is greater than 85, and then we put a colon. Now we indent. That's very important. We indent so that the code inside the if statement is executed. We're going to print you got a score greater than a mid B. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to have the else statement, and what that does is if this first condition isn't true, it'll move to the second condition. So we're going to say else, and then we're going to indent again. We're going to say print your score wasn't so great. Okay, now let's save this and let's run this program very quickly. So you can see here, since score, the variable that we declared was 85, it ended up printing out your score wasn't so great, and the reason why is because 85 is not greater than 85. Thus, this else statement was executed. Okay, let's quickly take a look at an example of a loop. So we're going to use a while loop, and we're going to take a color. We're just going to declare the color, actually. So we're going to say, we're just going to initially say color equals red. Okay. Now we're going to say while, let's just say blue, not in color, we're going to execute the condition below. So we're going to say color equals input, guess the magic color, and then, so as long as the person guesses anything that is not blue, this is going to continue to output until they guess blue, which is our magic color. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to print color. Okay, let's go ahead and run this code. So guess the magic color, let's guess red. So it continues the loop because we didn't guess blue. Let's guess green, still doesn't work. Now let's guess blue. Now that we guessed blue, the program terminated because the condition was not met. So that's an example of how you use a while loop in Python.
Hey, thanks for watching this week's Code Corner. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to our channel.
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Be sure to visit our website at y4kids.org to learn more about our organization and community impact.
Feel free to leave suggestions or questions in the comment section below.